Hi, welcome to Human Relations Skills in Counseling, MHS4052, Fall 2011 online. I'm so glad that you've decided to take this course, and I look forward to learning and growing with you all together. So my name is Brenna Hicks, and I am a licensed mental health counselor, and you will learn more about me as the semester goes, of course, but a very brief bio on me is that I own a private practice called The Kid Counselor. I specialize in play therapy, and I worked with children 2 to 15 years old while I was actively seeing clients. So my experience is exclusively with children in the play therapy counseling field. So you'll hear lots of stories intermingled in through the semester about that. I do have a son. He will be 2 next month, and so I stay home with him, and I'm in the doctorate program. So I'm busy, but I'm very excited about this course with you, and I look forward to teaching you about communication and how to better yourselves as communicators and in your relationships. So let me go ahead and begin. I'll cover parts of the syllabus that I think are important to highlight. I'm not going to cover everything because you all can read it and I don't want to waste your time, but anything that I think is important I will cover. And then of course, if you have any questions, there is a section in the discussion board on Blackboard that allows you to ask questions or comments or thoughts. So please feel free, if there's anything that you feel I didn't cover enough, please feel free to post in there and I will reply as soon as I see that you've done that. So okay, let me go ahead and go through some of this with you. My contact information is at the top. I want to let you know I am planning on answering any emails that I receive from you all between 3 and 4 p.m. daily. So if you email me in the morning, just anticipate that I probably will not get back to you until the afternoon, but I will respond daily to any emails, and I will also check the forums daily as well. So you should hear back from me sometime during that day. Our required text is Gamble and Gamble. It's about 6 years old, but it's a very, very good book, and students have given me very good feedback about the quality of the material. So I'm going to stick with that book, and you will hopefully find it very helpful as well. The readings are really important, so make sure that you're reading before the week begins. So technically you should have already read chapter 1 for this coming week, the first week of classes. So please make sure that you're aware of that, and if you have any questions about the text, that can also go into the forum. So, okay, I will go ahead and ignore the course objectives and policies because you all can read that, except for the fact that I want to mention assignments are due at the beginning of the week. So I did give you a specific date in the syllabus, and you'll see that toward the bottom, and you will get counted off if it's not posted to Blackboard by the beginning of that week, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. The only other thing I want to highlight is the APA style is going to be required on all of your assignments. I'm not sure, I know this is a capstone course for a lot of majors, so some of you may be used to other styles. I will give you a link to an APA guideline, and then you can also of course get the publication manual from the APA, and it won't be that big of a change for you if you're not used to APA, but you will need to make sure that it meets APA requirements. Okay, so let's quickly discuss some of the things that you will be graded for this semester. Obviously, because this is an online setting, it's going to be a little more challenging to do some of the interaction pieces that I like. I mean, especially with a communication course, I want you to be able to communicate and learn from each other. So I'm going to try to modify that the best that I can for the online setting. So I'm going to be asking you to do some posts every week, to read other students' posts and collaborate that way rather than face-to-face in a classroom. So, and we can modify that as we go. If we find that certain things aren't working or they're not, gelling real well, we can kind of renegotiate that. But so basically what we're going to be doing, participation is very important. 200 points of your grade, so 20% basically. You need to make sure that you're participating in the discussion and in the activities during the online classes. In the lectures, I'm going to be asking you to do things independently. So as you are watching the lectures, I might pause and say, take a minute to do X, Y, or Z. Those are going to be important because they may be covered later on in the semester. They may also be on the final or in quizzes. So make sure that you are doing those activities, and that will help you interact in the posts and forums better with other students as well. Each week you will also do a reflection journal, and traditionally I have done that when we meet twice a week in a classroom. I have you do 2 reflection posts a week for each class. I'm actually going to change that for you all to do 1 a week. So I want you to go into the discussion forum on Blackboard, and you will basically just give me your thoughts or conclusions or questions that you still have, something you learned from the readings that you were surprised about or interested in. And you're just going to basically post your reflections and your thoughts following watching the lecture each week. And it can be any time during the week. It does not have to be immediately after the lecture. Just make sure that you do get that post in, and make sure that you write each reflection as a new post. Each week I will include a link to the new week's post. So it'll say week 1 posts, and you will post there, and then week 2 will be week 2's reflection journal. So you are more than welcome to read other students' posts and comment on them. I would actually like that, to see the interaction component there. So please feel free to see what other students are thinking about and talking about, and you can comment or add your thoughts from that. Those will be 100 points for completing those reflection journals. Okay, the next part, the communication essay and the meeting review. You're going to choose one of these. I have no preference of which one you choose, whichever one you feel most comfortable with, whichever one you think is most feasible for you to complete. I have no preference. But basically, the communication essay, you will be asked to describe, interpret, and reflect on an experience that you've had in your own life, communication experience. This is actually going to be done toward the end of the semester, so that you will have all of the information that you've learned to build on and to analyze what happened. But it's going to be 2 to 3 pages, and we can talk about that a little bit more later. And at the end of the syllabus, I actually have guidelines for you. The meeting review, you can also choose, in lieu of the communication essay, you can choose to go to a meeting and observe the communication dynamics and interactions of the people at the meeting. So it could be a church meeting, it could be an AA meeting, it could be a work meeting, it can be anything, as long as you are not involved in the meeting. It's more of an observational experience, rather than, you can't be in a staff meeting at work that you attend and then do the meeting, that review that way. So you need to make sure that you are an independent party observing what is going on. So basically with that, you write a report on your thoughts, criticisms, and evaluations of the meeting. And both of those will count as 200 points, so whichever one you choose, you'll be graded for that assignment. Okay, there is no midterm. Yay. There will be a final exam though, and it will be comprehensive, covering material for the whole semester. I'm going to give you a study guide toward the end, so you'll know what to expect. But basically the questions will include multiple choice, true, false, short answer, and short essay. But you will be prepared as long as you do your readings and you participate. You'll be prepared for that, and it will come directly from lectures and readings and anything that we do in class activities. Okay, personal growth portfolio is probably the most significant piece of this course. And you're going to demonstrate what you've learned and your journey as a communicator through this personal growth presentation. So basically what I'm going to ask you to do is create a journey that shows your human relation skills, your interpersonal communication skills, and you reflect on the development of those things. And you'll get more information as the semester goes. This is really to cover the entire semester, so it's going to be one of the last things that you hand in. So you'll have plenty of time to work on it and plenty of time to ask questions about it. But you will actually post the presentation. It can either be in Keynote or PowerPoint or whatever other presentation software you choose to use, as long as I can open it. But you're going to share your journey and what you've learned and what surprised you and what you plan to do with the knowledge that you've gained. So we'll talk about that more later. And finally, there will be some quizzes. I got feedback in one of the classes a couple years ago that said that if I don't give you reasons to read, it's difficult to motivate you to read. So I'm giving you reasons to read. You will get pop quizzes. They will not be difficult if you've done the reading, but if you have not done the reading, the material will not come from the lectures. So you will have to have read the material, and it will only be a couple of questions, so it's not going to be long, but I will post pop quizzes and you'll have to answer those. So be aware of that. Those will count for 100 points as well. Okay, so those are the assignments. It sounds like a lot of work. I promise it's not. It will be very manageable, and as long as you complete the assignments and complete your readings, it is not difficult. So